It is the best day of the week, the Wednesday, the middle of the week, the hump day, but more importantly, New Comic Book Day. This weekend is Free Comic Book Day.
Free?
Free.
Really free. Can we do that? Can we just give comics away for free?
We can.
Yes, we can.
Specially made comics from the publishers just for you for free. But until that day, we have the brandy new comics that do cost money, but people put a lot of time and effort into these things, so they should cost money. There's a couple of big releases this week, and I'm going to start off with one of them. This is part 3 of The Button. This is Batman number 22, Joshua Williamson, Tom King, and Jason Fabok on art here. This is continuing the story from last week's Flash and the previous week's Batman. This one, we've got another cool cover with some Thomas Wayne reverse Flash action going on here. But this has been extremely popular. The Watchmen are very imminently going to be invading the DC universe very, very soon. Probably big blue hands, and they want to get dirty with other big blue things, but we won't talk about those.
Hey!
Wow. Yeah. Anyway.
You know, let's be honest, it wasn't that big.
I guess all relative and, in size. I'm gonna end on that. We're gonna move on.
I'm gonna pick it up with Black Bolt number 1. I have loved Black Bolt forever. I loved him long before. I loved the Inhumans long before they became like the thing, and they were going to get a movie and a TV show and that kind of stuff. This is absolutely amazing. What's cool, Saladin Ahmed and Christian Ward, the art is amazing, the writing is good, because here's the thing, you have to write for a character who basically can't speak.
Yeah.
Because if he speaks, as you know, after the war with the X-Men, kind of things all started again. The Inhuman, the royal family, they've gone up into space, including Black Bolt. But then why is Black Bolt in this?
But yeah, how does
Very
that?
weird. Well, you're gonna have to pick up Royals number 1,
and number 2 and number 3. You should buy all of them, honestly.
You should, but you
It's
don't have
John
to.
Boy Myers.
But if you want to jump in and just do a great story with Black Bolt, he's in this kind of weird prison, and he there's some other cool Marvel villains in this that might be not expecting a big old mystery. But I love Black Bolt because, the guy is so powerful, but yet it also makes him, his great power makes him, it's very vulnerable depending on where he is. And when you find out where he is, you see why his power is a negative instead of a positive. So anyway, I love this, great storytelling, really awesome art. Check it out. If you're an Inhuman fan, if you love Black Bolt, this is really cool. Just look at this cover.
It's nice. It's really nice. Don't shush me. Over on the other side of the DC universe from Batman, I have got Superman number 22. This is the third part of the Black Dawn story, which is sort of examining something amiss in Hamilton County, the current home of the Kents, aka the Smiths, in their secret identities. It's weird that even Lois Lane has a secret identity right now.
Right? How does that work? She didn't wear glasses.
But Superman literally goes underground in this issue to deep beneath the farms and the schoolhouses and all the nice, wholesome environments of Hamilton County. Meanwhile, Lois Lane does her own investigating, which honestly takes up most of the issue. I think Superman only shows up on 2 or 3 pages here. For the most part, it's Lois Lane against an entire town, which is actually something to see.
Return of the Damned from Oni Press. We've got Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt, and Bill Crabtree on colors. This was a great little black and white book that Cullen Bunn and Brian Hurt did way before Cullen Bunn was popular at all, before he was getting any other work, and kind of flew under the radar, but they've re-released it, which we've got in stock, and kind of remastered some of the color, which looks pretty cool. But this is the beginning of the new series, The Damned Ill-Gotten. The first issue is only $1 for a full-color comic.
That's almost free!
$1, that is almost free. And the idea is that, of course, gangsters run the world, or the city here, and, the people are caught in the crossfire of the bloody massacres that happen. But what they do not know is that demons are actually behind these gangsters, using them and human greed to profit from a far more important racket, which is mortal souls. Because obviously the devil always wants the souls. And this issue, or this series, follows Eddie, who sold his soul long ago, and he can die, but as soon as someone touches the body, they then die, and he becomes alive again to really get more pain and punishment inflicted upon him. So he kind of bumps back and forth between the rackets and stuff, trying to survive. But this is really fun demon gangster stuff, which you really can't go wrong with. Lots of cool occult nonsense. And giant Satan dude with a big cigar and a large nose ring looks kind of intimidating. So $1 for the damn.
My book, to me, this is priceless to me because I love Sarah Vaughn and Jonathan Luna. I loved Alex plus Ada. I just absolutely loved it. These guys are reunited again for a new Image book called Eternal Empire. And I'm just really excited about this because what I love about them is they take these big, high concept sci-fi, but they make them so human, they make them romantic, they make them so I really felt for it. I love the Luna art. I don't know what it is, it just does it for me. But this is more of a big sci-fi fantasy epic. The Eternal Empress, she's conquered nearly every realm there is. There's one more left. She's been fighting it for eternity, if you will. There's one more left, and there's this young girl who has this vision, and is she the one who could stand against her, or will she join her? Once again, Sarah Vaughn and Jonathan Luna could have said, we're doing a comic book about reading the phone book, and I would have tried it. But I know this is going to be really beautiful. I'm really excited about the storytelling. If you loved Alex plus Ada, or if you've never heard of it, come in and get the volume for that. But definitely check this out if you like big, romantic, sci-fi and fantasy epics that definitely are very human, and it's all about the human touch.
I guess
the human
so.
emotion, right? That you can relate to because you're such a human, caring person.
What? Why are you saying these awful things about me?
Morgan's a robot. He shows no emotion.
That's right.
I am gonna take this so far away from Earth and all these crappy humans and give you all new Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a team full of aliens. Even Peter Quill at this point isn't technically a human. I think he's half Spartax or something. In the movie, he's gonna be half Kurt Russell, but whatever. That's a totally different
That's pretty
story.
cool.
That's pretty good, right?
This is an all-new #1 by writer Jerry Duggan and artist Aaron Cooter, and colorist Ives Forcina, which is something to be just as excited about, honestly. Duggan has been writing Deadpool for the last, almost 5 years, I want to say.
Uncanny Avengers?
Yeah, Uncanny Avengers, which has been awesome in this last volume. Aaron Cooter recently jumped over from DC. He was working on Action Comics over there. He did, Death of X? Yeah, Death of X. He's done a few other scattered things here and there. But he's helming this along with Jerry Duggan. So one of the best comedy writers in current Marvel, plus just one of the best artists in current superhero comics in general. Aaron Cooter is super underrated.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he may not be on this book for long because that's kind of how he does things. But I'm happy to have him as long as possible. This really seems to be capturing a lot of the humor and the fun that the Guardians of the Galaxy movies have had. I don't know, they've tried to go for something like that for the last couple of volumes, but it really, under Bendis, I feel like it never really clicked. All the humor felt really forced and everything, but Jerry Duggan is an actual, funny writer. It's amazing, kind of a no-brainer at this point, honestly. You can even tell how 80s they wanted to make it by the pink and blue and yellow going on there. Those are fun colors, right? People like those.
Yeah. And if you're a fan of the movie, which comes out this weekend, you should definitely come in and get that. There's also a free comic book day issue of that. And this is the roster that you see in the movies. Imagine that. There's synergy. There's synergy with the movie.
Dude.
But you don't have to do it. But if you're a fan, come in and get some more Guardians love here.
Yeah, and there's also 2 other new Guardians #1s this week. There's one by Jim Starlin and Alan Davis, which is going to be a weekly mini-series, I feel like.
Yep.
And then there's another #1 by another team that seems to be more skewed towards younger readers.
Mission.
Like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of Guardians.
What's this?
This is the Youngblood #1.
Wow.
First new Youngblood #1 in a couple years. The last one had Obama in it for some unknown reason.
Oh man,
I remember
forgot
that
about that.
weird drawing that Liefeld did of Obama. I love Liefeld. You shouldn't draw Obama. It just looks weird, man. He put some pouches on it, or
Didn't he give him guns?
I think he did have guns.
Shoulder
that was
pads?
awesome.
But anyway, Chad Bowers and Jim Tao bringing you the new evolution of Youngblood. There's also a very cool Rob Liefeld backup in here for those that need the Rob Liefeld action as well as a Rob Liefeld cover. But you got Shaft, Badrock, some redesigns of characters and stuff. I don't know, I'm kind of curious. It's definitely not got like that 90s intensity action to it. Jim Tao's a bit more on kind of the posing and the emotional, like facial expressions, kind of some McKelvey action.
Yeah, the anatomy is actually like logical. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's throwing me off. And you also get to see Die Hard in a suit,
which is awesome.
Is pretty cool.
That's kinda interesting.
But yeah, we got 4 out of the 17 covers that came out for this comic.
Yeah.
You don't need 17.
And that was the
covers.
book that like launched Image.
This was the first one
book.
because Rob Liefeld is nothing but extremely fat.
My next pick is Jean Grey #1. After years of being a great and powerful part of the X-Men, she's finally getting her own solo limited ongoing series, not limited series, ongoing series. She's also the leader of X-Men Blue right now. But this is young Jean Grey from the past who's in the future. She hasn't gone through everything, but she knows she will go through all this stuff with the Phoenix. And so she's determined to change her destiny, to change her future. She's on her own missions. She's got, if you're a fan of Pickles, the teleporting junior Nightcrawler Banff, he's in it, which I love. I'm glad he survived, you know, the resurrection, because we need more Banff teleporting little demons named Pickles, you know. We need more of that in our life, so thank you, Dennis Hopeless, for that. He was, I actually got to talk about him with him at Comic-Con about it, and it's really cool. It's going to be kind of this different episodes as she's preparing herself for the eventual, because you know the Phoenix is coming. The Phoenix always comes back, and this is not a spoiler. We know the Phoenix is coming. She has a vision, so she's now on her own vision quest to prepare herself to either take it on, to defeat it, to be able to handle it, so she doesn't go all Dark Phoenix on us, and you know how that happens. So anyway, yeah, Dennis Hopeless, Victor Abanez.
Yeah.
So there you go, Jean Grey. I like her design. I like her. I'm not too crazy about the hair on the cover, but I like her new design.
Those jackets are sweet. I like
Those
legitimately
cool
want one of those.
It's a bit like the Morrison era,
Yeah,
where everybody
exactly.
had those cool jackets.
Which I also still want. Where's that? Where's like
Right.
And
Marvel has their own clothing line. Why don't they pull one of those out?
And some unlikely villains in this, and that's going to be kind of the theme as she goes on this kind of adventure vision quest. She's going to be running into some very interesting places around the Marvel Universe and villains and other heroes as she travels.
Is it me?
That's a beautiful looking book.
Isn't it? Yeah, so Divinity 3 has finally come out with the trade collection. We could barely keep the single issues in the store.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd installment of Valiant's saga of 3 Russian cosmonauts who went into space and then came back changed. Kind of like a Fantastic Four situation, but Russian, and instead of being able to stretch or catch on fire or like be made of rocks, they have godlike cosmic powers. It's a little bit more extreme. This one follows sort of what would have happened if one of the cosmonauts, the second one I believe, had come back and essentially just remade the entire universe to be, well, the Stalinverse.
Stalinverse!
Because that is the actual literal title of this comic book.
Yes.
Divinity 3 Stalinverse. You can pretty much put together what happens in your head here. Yes, we've got Russian Bloodshot, we've got Russian Shadow Man, Russian Exo Man-O-War. They're all Russians. And there's also like a whole like big assortment of ancillary characters from the Valiant universe who've been reimagined under this Stalinverse regime. This comes from a usual team of Matt Kint and Trevor Hairsine, and it looks beautiful, as Mr. Will was saying.
Yeah. I'm all about Russian Bloodshot because he's got the giant friggin' nasty beard. And he's like weapons are the iron, the sickle, and the fucking, yeah, there's that. My final book is a new one that is very dear to my heart. This is Extremity #3 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer on colors. This remains to be the strongest Image #1 that I've seen in like 5 years. This is just a book that is dripping with the blood, sweat, and tears of the man that put this together. He's been working on this for years. It's a very personal story about losing your identity and having to become something else when life gets in the way. And four-armed archers with like half cyborg. This dude just is throwing all this crazy new characters at you. Just giant more monsters. The weird giant dinosaur things are back. They got punched in the face last issue. They're clearly annoyed. They're back, and it's just a great story that's really action and fantasy and intense, but rooted in a very character and family type of dynamic where, like I said, what will you do to survive when you have been changed and you are no longer who you were? So yes, 3 issues in, and we just got number 1 back in, so we have uno, dos, and tres for those of you that didn't listen to me and didn't go pick it up. You should.
My final pick, I'm going to start with Once Upon a Time. There was a guy named Chuck Dixon who wrote Batman.
Forever.
Robin. Forever.
That was a long time.
And, now you talk about why y'all got to have different people playing the different superheroes. Well, he and Graham Nolan created this guy named Bane. And when you think about all of Batman's rogues, it's like you have these classic ones, but then it takes a lot to actually have someone create something new into the rogues gallery. But they did it. They did it with Bane way back with Nightfall, and of course he came in and he broke the bat. If you've been a fan of Tom King's recent, you know that Bane's been a big part of it. There's a big giant rematch with that. But this is the legendary Chuck Dixon reunited with Nolan on a brand new tale starring Bane. It's called Bane Conquest. It's a 12-part limited series.
Whoa, dude, you gave 12 issues?
And Gotham City's not big enough. The island of, I hope I'm saying this right, Santa Prisca is not big enough. Bane is going global. He is out to create his own big global empire. So if you're a huge fan of the old school Chuck Dixon days and the art, this is it. If you're a big fan of Bane, he broke the bat, so he's going to break the world now. So there you go. Bane Conquest.
Okay, guys. It's controversy time.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Can you please hold this for me?
Yes.
I hate that I have to do this.
Uh-oh. Are you pulling out your
I knew it!
I
Nazi
hate it.
propaganda? What?
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Hail Hydra!
I'm all in for Hydra.
Hail Hydra!
I gotta say it, guys. I don't care what the internet says. This comic is gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Secret Empire, #1. Nick Spencer, Steve McNiven on this issue. Mark Brooks on covers for the entire series. It's gonna run 9 issues, not counting the 0 issue and the free comic book day special, which, spoilers, you can get on Saturday. Captain America. He's Hydra. He's not a Nazi, I swear to God.
Ben Hydra.
Yeah, Ben Hydra. This picks up after the 0 issue in which he reveals his true colors, seemingly many months, if not like a year or so later. Hydra has gone about burning all history documents of the old world, re-educating the youths, imprisoning Rick Jones. Poor
Rick Jones gets imprisoned?
He
Yeah,
gets
man.
back just to be put in
Dude.
prison.
It's messed up.
Rick
but
Jones has taken enough shit, man.
you do have a resistance, a strong, stalwart cast of heroes. You've got Black Widow, Hawkeye, the Champions, the Wasp, a new Giant Man. The Thing is still kicking around somehow.
How is he the only one? Like, they always get rid of the Fantastic Four, except the Thing.
Except the Thing.
He always
every time.
kicks around. Like, he lives just to play poker.
He's rock solid.
Granted, Torch has been around for a bit, but he's been with the Inhumans, the Uncanny Avengers, so I can't.
Oh,
really
is that-
consider
oh,
being
Well, he
really
was with the
Inhumans
Guardians
to
for
be.
a while.
Alright.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyways, it's a cool comic.
You love
I
to
don't
hate
know,
it,
man.
you hate to love it.
I think this is
but
going to be the
just come
first
in.
crossover that all 3 of us are actually into.
Right.
For Marvel. Yeah, so if you're excited about that, if you're excited about free comic books, you should come in on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free comic books all day. The special free comic book day ones are while we last, but we will also have stuff so nobody will go home empty-handed, because that's just a very sad thing. On free comic book day. We're also having a sale and some other stuff, but it's a great time, it's fun, and it is an excellent time to get caught back up on some things if you haven't been in the store in a while. So thank you for watching. We also have a free comic book day video that will be up tomorrow morning, or this morning, will be up now, that you should watch as well, that gives you a breakdown and stuff. So thanks for watching, guys.
Keep calling, Hail Hydra.
Straight Hydra.